welcome back to Rosie Place, and today you've been asking for it for a whole year, and now that I've moved houses and found the book, I am ready to do this. So, everyone, we're going to be reading Chapter 2 of Whatever After. Away we go. Away we go. My eyes opened at 11:54 p.m. Good. I have set my alarm for 11:55, but now I won't have to worry about Nana hearing it go off. If she did, she might come to my room to investigate, and that would ruin my whole plan. I turned off the alarm and threw back my covers and scrambled out of bed. I glanced down at myself. I made my pajamas with a little bulldog on them that Nana sent me for Hanukkah. I might be mad at Nana, but I love these PJs. And it makes sense for me to be in PJs for the sleepover party anyway. Right. I stuffed my feet into sneakers and rushed out of my room into the hallway. "What are you doing?" asked a sleepy voice. I jumped. It's John, standing at the door of his room. What is he doing awake at almost midnight? "I heard you moving around," he tells me, rubbing his eyes. He was totally bedhead. His curly brown hair is all messed up. He's wearing his soccer ball pajamas that Nana sent him for Hanukkah. "I'm going to Penny's sleepover," I tell John, smoothing down my messy brown curls. Then I turn to head to the stairs. "What? No. Are you going to walk over in the pajamas in the middle of the night? You can't do that." I shake my arm loose. "No, silly, I'm going to take the mirror." John snorts laugh. "The mirror? Mary Rose isn't going to send you to Penny's. She doesn't take requests, and Penny doesn't live in a fairy tale. Her house is big, but it's not a real castle." I flush. Mary Rose might send me there if I ask nicely, really, really nicely. What if Nana checks on you when you're gone? Why would she check on me? She doesn't know about the mirror. I gesture to my parents' room down the hall, where Nana is staying, and she's fast asleep. She's tired. She's old. "I'm coming downstairs with you," he says. "John," I start. Before I can tell him I'm going alone, he runs into his room and comes back with his sneakers and a hoodie on. Then he rushes past me down the stairs. "You're not coming to Penny's with me," I whisper yell. Showing up at a sleepover my little brother is not what I had in mind. No one wants a little brother at a sleepover, especially someone else's little brother. If Mary Rose says she's sending you to Penny's, I won't come. John whispers, yells back over his shoulder. "Rough," Prince barks, bounding out of John's room and following my brother down the stairs. "This is getting out of hand." "Shh," I said, heading after John and Prince. "You guys better not wake up Nana." The three of us hurried down the first flight of stairs, around the corner, and down the basement steps. "Stay back," I tell John and Prince as they came to the stop in the front of the mirror. The mirror is huge, bigger than me, and bolted onto the wall. The frame is made of stone and decorated with fairies and wands. The mirror came with the house when we moved. Can you believe that the people who lived here before us just left it here? Major score for us. I glanced at my watch. It's exactly midnight. Perfect. I love being punctual. I knocked on the glass 3 times. "Hi, Mary Rose," I said to the mirror. "It's Abby. Can you please take me to Penny's house? Please, pretty, please, pretty, please, with the maple syrup and strawberries on top." The mirror starts to hiss, then a purple light radiates from the glass. Finally, the glass starts to flow. "It's working," I said, feeling a rush of excitement. "She's going to take me. She's going to take me." I glance over my shoulder and draw. "Do not come with me. Do you hear me? Do not come with me." "You don't know what the mirror is taking you to Penny's," John argues. "Abby, listen. You're mad at Nana and not thinking clearly." Prince barks his agreement. They don't know what they're talking about. Mary Rose is taking me to Penny's. I just know it. "Don't come," I tell my brother again, and then I jump it. Thump. Ouch. I landed on my hands and knees to feel a scrape of rough wood. Please be Penny's visit. Please be Penny's visit. I dusted off my PJs and stand up then. Ah, I'm shooting into the eyes of a deer. Seriously, I jump back. Wait, it's an entire head of a deer. A head of a deer. I take a closer look at the animal. Oh, it's actually a stuffed deer head mounted on a wall. Not that there's any less scary, but at least it won't eat me. I cringe and glance away from its glassy umber eyes. Big mistake, because now I'm starting at a stuffed brown head bear, also hung on the wall. The bear does not look happy. The room is full of dead animals hung like trophies. Gross, gross, gross. Where am I? Could this room be in Penny's house? A room I've never been inside. A room she has never shown me because she knows I'd be creeped out above all the dead animal heads. Excuse me, I hear a man's voice violently phone. What are you doing here? I freeze. Then I hear a sudden thump, followed by a familiar voice. Abby? I spin around and see John sitting at a weird angle on the ground. His eyes are wide and Prince is clutched in his arms. What? Why are you here? I asked my brother. I told you not to come. Then I noticed why. John is sitting at a weird angle. He's on top of a man. A passed out man. A passed out man with a bright red hair and scruffy beard, who's wearing a green vest. That must be the man who spoke to me before. John, I cried, pointing down at the man. What? Who? Is he okay? John's eyes are getting wider, even wider. I don't know. When I went through the portal, I landed on him, and I think he hit his head. I run over to peer down at the man. His eyes are closed. Is he? I am afraid to ask. Prince whimpers wearily. He's breathing, John says, leaning closer to the man's face. I think I just knocked him unconscious. Sure enough, the man lets out a long snort sound like he's fast asleep. You pulled a Wizard of Oz, I tell John. Huh? Remember when Dorothy's house landed on top of the witch? No. Well, that's what you did, except he's not a witch, and I'm not a house. I wonder who he is. Do you think he's Penny's dad? John glances around. No way, we're definitely not in Penny's house. How do you know for sure? That dead animal heads? Penny might have dead animal heads, I say. Prince flattens his ears and growls at the animal heads, and I know how he feels. John points to the window. It's the middle of the day. We need time travel to Penny's. True. It is bright outside. We must be in a fairy tale, John says. See, aren't you glad I came now? I am. I have to admit. Thank you for not listening to me before. So if we are in a fairy tale, which one are we in? I look around the rooms more slowly. It is a strange room, even aside from the animal heads. Everything in it, the desk, the bed, the chair, looks to be made out of tree bark. And I can even see that there's a tree bark kitchen and a tiny tree bark bathroom down the hall. Plus, there's a giant tree trunk growing straight out of the floor. What is this place, I wonder out loud? Is it a beanstalk? A beanstalk, John asks excitedly, scrambling up off top the passed out man. Are we finally in Jack of the Beanstalk? My brother cheers. Then his face falls. Don't tell me I landed on Jack. Ah, did I break Jack? Never mind, it doesn't look like a beanstalk, I say quickly. I'm sure that it's not Jack, and you didn't mean to break him. John's shoulders relax. Phew, I feel bad for this guy, but whoever he is, but I would be super sad to have broken Jack. I noticed a bunch of bows and arrows stacked against the wall. Could we be in Robin Hood? I asked. I love Robin Hood. Then his face falls again. Don't tell me I broke Robin Hood. That's almost as bad as breaking Jack. I studied the stuffed animal heads. Actually, I don't think Robin Hood is a hunter. The passed out guy gives another loud snort sound, which should really call a doctor, I said. Thankfully, just then, I spotted a phone on one desk. Phew, I ran over and picked up the receiver. There's only one symbol on it. A star, so I pressed it. The lines rings twice, and the woman answers. Hotline helpline, this is Mona, she said cheerfully. How are you, Huntsman? Huntsman, I repeat. Yes, I have caller ID. Oh, so I'm not Robin Hood's house? Who's Robin Hood? Or Jack's house? I asked just to make sure. I don't know a Jack either, Mona replies. But you're calling from Hudson's house, am I right? You are, I say. I am Abby and I came to visit the Huntsman. But I think he hit his head and he's unconscious. Can you send a doctor? Oh, sure, no problem. Help is on the way. Mona hangs up. I look at John. He looks at me. Prince barks his head. What's the story has a huntsman? Snow White does, but we've already been there, and it didn't look like anything like this. I noticed a small wooden doorway straight ahead. I walked over, opened it carefully, and looked down. Way down. Well, we're high up in the air, like 20 or 30 feet off the ground. We're in a forest full of huge trees with enormous branches and dark leaves. The sky is bright blue, and a cloud is not a cloud in sight. And the temperature feels just right, like the most perfect spring day. John comes to join me at the doorway and peers out. Abby, we're in a treehouse. He's right, but this doesn't look like any treehouse I've ever been in. My best friend Frankie has a treehouse, but hers doesn't have a whole tree trunk shooting up the side of it, of course. Her doesn't have a dead animal decorations or an unconscious husband. Hey, there's another treehouse. This treehouse has a welcoming sign on the outside of the wall, along with a bird feeder. 2 little bluebirds are nibbling at birdseed. The window frames are painted a lemon yellow. I bet that treehouse has a normal thing inside, like faces and paintings and conscious people. Snort, says a husband, still asleep, and there's another. John says, pointing to the left, this treehouse has a clothesline going from it to another tree. I can see a pair of hands and a bunch of socks moving in the gentle breeze. All treehouses, including the one we're in, have a long wooden ladder that goes straight down from the doorways through the leaves and branches. Okay, we're in a forest full of treehouses. Which fairy tale has treehouses? Suddenly, I hear a sound coming from the forest below. La 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 la. A girl's voice trills. I hear singing, I said. Prince barks, running over to us and looking down. Me too, John says, straining to listen. La 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 la. A tasty treat. La 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 la. She's getting something to eat. The girl sings. Gets louder. I squint down through the branches. Now I can see the girl, the one who's singing. She's wearing a long red hoodie and walking on the path through the forest. She swings something in her hands, a basket. Yep, a wicker picnic basket. Oh, wait, she's not wearing a hoodie. It's more like a cap with a hood. A hood, I holler, a red hood. So we are in Robin Hood. Is that him? He has such high voice, huh? John is going to be disappointed because that's not Robin Hood. Only one person wears a red hood in a fairy tale. That'll be all for Chapter 2. Chapter 3 will be coming out soon. This time it'll be sooner than before. Show your guys love and support. See you guys next time. Bye!